It's like stepping into a Parisian pastry shop, only you don't have to leave the country for this delicate dessert. Khara Westergard is joining me in the kitchen to share a recipe for a special dough used as the base for many French recipes. How do you the French say it?
It's pâte à choux.
Pâte à choux.
Pâte à choux, and it is French, so it sounds intimidating, but my point of being here today is I want to make it less intimidating and feel doable, because it really is. It's not very hard.
Well, I think of all the home cooks these days, the bakeresses out there who are making cakes and mastering cupcakes, and pastries does feel like that elevated project to approach.
It does, yes,
you know?
and it is, and it's fun. It's just a little showy, but it's something that everybody really could do. So,
okay, starts with one dough, and you can make a variety of different recipes?
Yes, in fact, it makes eclairs, it makes cream puffs, it makes profiteroles, which are like ice cream filled.
Okay.
It can do popcorn choux over there.
Oh my goodness.
You can do savory, add savory fillings. You can make churros out of it.
Oh my gosh.
If you fry it, you can also even boil it with little pieces of it, and that makes like a Parisian gnocchi.
Okay,
So.
I feel like I'm standing in a little bakery here, and I feel so honored to be surrounded by you and the sugar that surrounds us. Let's start with the dough. How do we make it?
Okay, so it's just, all these are your ingredients right here. So it's pretty simple. We've got butter, water, milk, sugar, and salt. And these ingredients right here are already started here in my pan.
Okay.
And it's melted, it's hot. We got it to a simmer. It already came back down from a simmer because we're trying to time us right here.
Sure.
But we're going to go ahead, and from this point, it's just add all of our flour.
So I assume with an ingredients list
All at once.
that simple, it comes down to technique then.
It's just knowing a couple things.
Okay.
And it's not like, I feel like when we say technique, it feels like too hard.
We have to go to school.
But yes, but you don't. So, okay, so the hotness of the liquid that we had in here is going to get absorbed quickly by this flour.
Okay.
And we're just gonna try to stir it quickly.
So it's thickening, it's kind of clumping a little bit.
Yes, and kind of looks like mashed potatoes right now.
Yes, it does.
Yes, and so that's what we're gonna go for. Once you've got your mashed potatoes, I want you to try to push them against the side of the pan and make sure that you're getting any of the flour clumps.
And were the eggs in there?
Mixed in. The eggs are not here yet.
Not yet, okay.
Not here yet, yes. So after it's a mashed potato, you're gonna keep cooking it over low heat.
Okay, it's amazing how that came together so fast.
Yeah, and then it's gonna start turning into Play-Doh.
I love the science of cooking. Like I love, and I know you nerd out on that as well.
I do,
But it's so amazing what we can do just over a stovetop, right?
Yes. Now, here you're going to start looking for, like I said, for it to turn to Play-Doh. It's going to start to clump up, and that's what we want. But we're going to keep stirring and cooking it for a minute until we get a film on the bottom of this pan. And this actually is a really good nonstick pan, so I'm hoping that the film actually
You're like,
forms.
come, film, come.
I know. I've been actually practicing in a different pan, and then this is the prettier pan. But
So the film is when it gets to a certain temperature, you'll start to see that little coating?
Yeah, so it helps us we know that it's dehydrated enough once we've got the film on the bottom of the pan.
Okay.
And our flour is cooked, and so we needed all that liquid, but we want to kind of cook it out.
Okay, what's our next
So let's
step?
pretend like we've got a film on the bottom of our pan.
I see a film. I don't know about you.
And we're gonna move it over here to our mixing bowl.
Okay.
Once we get it to our mixing bowl, we are hoping for it to cool down pretty quickly. So we're gonna give it just a couple of minutes, and if you're using your stand mixer, then I would like turn it on for a minute and let some of this steam waft out, and then I would go over and start cracking my eggs. Our eggs is the last ingredient.
Okay.
And it will take too long for me to add the eggs in right now, but we're gonna do a social media little video
on how that
show
happens.
you, and then show you how it looks at the very end.
4 eggs that you mix in.
4 eggs.
Using a hand mixer or your stand mixer.
Right, so we're gonna do 1 egg at a time.
Okay.
And by the end, when you pull up your beaters, you wanna see it kind of pulling off in a V.
Okay.
And that's what we're gonna show you, how it should look at the end. But so then you know that it's done. But my recipe that I'm sharing with you pretty much has it at the right consistency. You won't need to add more liquid, but if it wasn't V-ing, you would add a little bit more egg.
Okay.
And just make sure that it's the right consistency to pipe.
So we'll meet everyone on social media for that demonstration, but in the meantime, we're jumping ahead a step.
Yes,
and this is how we pipe it out for the finished pastry?
Yes, now I'm just gonna spray the corners of my pan real quick to help stick my parchment down. And you can do that with the dough. People will do it with the dough, but I hate cleaning that off. So I just do the water.
Girl after my own heart. Less dishes, less work.
That's right. That's right. So then I'm gonna spray it because I like to have a little bit of extra moisture to help not burn on the bottom.
Okay.
And then when you pipe, you want to make sure you're straight up and down. And I'm gonna show you a bad piping right now. So right now I'm up high, and that's where you wanna be. But if you get down low like this, it's gonna start spreading your base too soon, and then you'll like have a Hershey kiss.
Oh.
So let's not do that.
Okay, nope.
Let's go from a little bit higher and let it kind of fan out as it goes, and you kind of get that ball.
Oh, look at that.
So, and you can kind of do that.
Okay.
And then when you're done with all
it's
of...
more consistent in kind of the width, right? Okay.
Yep. It's more ball-like instead of Hershey Kiss-like.
Okay.
But then you want to take a wet finger, and I'm just going to spray it, and then you just pat that peak down because those peaks will burn in the oven.
Okay.
And then once you, so you can do all different sizes. Oh, let's show you how to do an eclair.
Okay.
So for all of them, you're wanting to do up and down, but for eclair, we're going to go 45. And I don't want you to go too thick for an eclair. Now my tip is already pretty thick, but we're going 45, and we're going to try to keep even pressure as we go.
Because it will spread when it cooks?
It will, and if you do it too thick, then you're going to end up with a hot dog bun, not an eclair.
Oh.
But do you see how I kind of just like wipe it like that at the end to kind of take the peak off? And then you can go ahead and,
you do spray
and
that
do that too.
Okay.
Not everybody sprays. Some people like to do an egg wash. I don't need to do an egg wash because my recipe has a little bit of added sugar and some milk, and that already gives you really great color, so you don't need the egg wash. I mean, you can tell there's lots of great color on these.
They naturally kind of, they naturally rise, crack, and expand a little bit in the oven, so you'll get the finished pretty top that we're used to seeing. And then you mentioned some of the fillings. Talk us through a few more of your favorites.
Okay, so I love to mix it up and not just do vanilla. So I've got a chocolate one here. You can see it peeking out here.
Yeah.
I've got raspberry here. I do have vanilla as well, but lemon, caramel, I have, like, there's so many options that you can do. Once you have done a basic pastry cream, you can just add those really quickly. And I've got the recipe for you on that. But to top them after that, it's so simple. You can just take a little powdered sugar and just dust it like that. It's so easy.
Beautiful.
And everybody loves a powdered sugar topped
yes, well, it's that finishing kind of prettiness, right, that we've come to expect.
Yes.
So give me your #1 selling point. Why would I make a pastry as opposed to buy a pastry?
I will tell you what, because it is so much better the day of and when you make it from home. Because when you get it from the store, I have no idea how long it's been sitting on the shelf.
Sure, yeah.
And it's just so much better because you're not having, well, with my recipe.
I love it. No, listen, you don't have to sell me. I know your recipes.
With my
are golden
recipes, you
standard.
you don't have a filling that has a bunch of preservatives in it either. And the fillings are just much
fresh.
More, yes, they're so good.
More fresh. I sense that. Well, beautiful, and it's clear you know your stuff. So
it's a showstopper when you make it from home. So you do want to try it.
Well, listen. I may have fudged a few times saying I made things from home when I didn't. I would own this to the bank. I would be so proud to carry this into a potluck or a party. So thank you. You made it very, very approachable. As I know you do with all of your recipes, where can we get more from you, Khara?
You can find me on Instagram at Balsamic Baker.
Balsamic Baker online. Make sure to give her a follow. Thank you so much. I was really intrigued with the process. Beautiful, beautiful pastries too.